Social Security payments are going to actually go up 8.7%.
8.7%.
8.7%. We haven't seen that in many, many years.
So what does this mean if you are on a fixed income, if you're receiving a Social Security check? Everyone should receive a boost of about $145.
That's going to average about $141 more a month.
Now, for anyone that is receiving Social Security, they're not going to see that impact in their checks until January of the new year. But this is going to help a lot of folks really, truly get through these high inflationary times.
And it couldn't come at a better time. Sadly, once people get it into their bank accounts, they're going to be spending it because of the higher prices.
Breaking news on the economy. It is bad news for consumers. It is bad news for working class Americans. It is bad news for middle class Americans. It is bad news for people invested in the stock market. It is bad news.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here. Huge breaking news, economic data rolling out. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as we're hearing that there is going to be an 8.7% increase for COLA, the cost of living adjustment for those in Social Security, going to be taking effect next year for 2023. And they're saying it's going to be needed because inflation, the CPI data reading came out today at 8.2%, and they're saying that's the highest in 40 years. And with the information coming out about OPEC, it's likely going to be even higher next month, and things are not slowing down with inflation. As a result, the Federal Reserve is going to be increasing interest rates to try to slow down inflation. This is going to be impacting our economy, employment, and they're saying that people are going to be hurting. And if we are not already in a recession, we are likely going to be entering into one very soon. And the White House is now walking back those statements that President Joe Biden just recently made in that CNN exclusive interview with Jake Tapper, where he was asked, are we in a recession? Do we have to worry about one? And he said no. And if there is one, it's going to be ever so slight. Today on Twitter, those words and the White House walking them back as things are not looking good for our economy. Now, we're hearing that as a result of this, people are going to be hurting with the economy and some additional assistance might be needed, some form, some way. And I let you guys know, Social Security, just yesterday, we had to release the report that about $1,600, the maximum payment, went out yesterday. And we also have proposals for Social Security increases of $200, extending the solvency for an additional 75 years. Now, yesterday, then today, major news as the announcement of the increase for COLA came out at 8.7%. Also, legislation being introduced, several proposals for child tax credits, and also people are still saying we could use a fourth federal level stimulus check. And all of this is coming back right now as all of this is taking place, circulating around the midterm elections. So a lot going on, a lot of information rolling out, you guys. I'm just going to get you caught up on the latest with the video footage coming out today, left and right. I'm going to play it for you so you can see it for yourself, and whatever unfolds here on the channel, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. Now, if you appreciate the updates, don't forget to do me a quick favor, smash the like button. If you'd like to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Any specific questions, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. I also have a comprehensive list of every stimulus check provision in the nation on every level, available at www.reliefroadmap.com. I've assembled in the past 3 months every single day working on that, so you have access to that. And also, you guys, check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance. But with that being said, let's take a look at this video footage of the breaking news coming out today about Social Security benefits and the CPI data reading coming out at 8.2%, and the recession and the economic pain that we're hearing is likely going to be on the way. And whatever unfolds, regardless of what it is, I'll make sure to report it to you so you know the latest and you know what's going on. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Now, in light of those inflation numbers, the Social Security Administration is expected to raise the cost of living adjustment figure for 2023.
And people on Social Security benefits are predicted to get at least an 8% increase next year, which would be the biggest jump since the early 80s. So let's bring in Kristen Meyer. She is the editor-in-chief of thebalance.com. Kristen, good to have you with us. So help us understand what this number would mean for people on Social Security. Will they be satisfied with this bump in benefits?
Yeah, so that COLA increase literally just came through just seconds ago. It is 8.7% for 2023. So pretty much bang in line with some of those expectations, which was between 8 and 9%. So what does this mean if you are on a fixed income, if you're receiving a Social Security check? They've done some calculations, and everyone should receive a boost of about $145, which the Biden administration had come out and said that folks would receive a pay bump, essentially, of about $140 a month. Now, for anyone that is receiving Social Security, they're not going to see that impact in their checks until January of the new year. But this is going to help a lot of folks really, truly get through these high inflationary times. As we just heard from Caleb and Brian, 8.2%. We are not seeing inflation decline just yet. It is, as Caleb was putting it, sticky high still. And so right now we're seeing a lot of folks, but particularly those Americans that are on a fixed income, really struggling to buy groceries or pay for gas or electricity. So this is definitely going to go a long way to help them with some of their bills.
Absolutely. Also, we're still waiting on these numbers, so we're kind of talking about what could potentially happen here. But could an increase in benefits potentially impact the long-term stability of the Social Security program? How does higher inflation impact the Social Security Trust Fund? Something that we've really been talking about for years now, actually.
Yeah, that's such a great question. Listen, that the administrators over at the Social Security Administration have essentially said they are going to run out of money by around 2035. So about 10 years left of funds. So this increase, is it going to drain the funds, overnight? No, it's not. But every single year, every single time they have to do an increase based on inflation, we're essentially going to see that we're going to get to that finish line even quicker, even faster. So there's definitely some problems here with how much inflation is impacting what's remaining inside that trust fund. The higher inflation is, the higher some of those benefits are going to be, which means just less and less money that's going to be available to pay out some of those benefits.
And Kristen, we're just learning that the benefits will go up 8.7%. But kind of jumping off that, what can we see happen to Social Security benefits beyond 2023? There's a lot of conversation, a lot of talk about a potential recession next year that many are predicting.
Yeah, so these raises are actually permanent. So even if we do go into a recession next year, and let's just say inflation drops, right, to maybe 6% or 4%, that doesn't mean that your Social Security benefit is actually going to decrease. So you are actually going to perhaps be able to make up for some of the hits that your wallet has been taking over this past year next year when we do see inflation hopefully start to come down. But again, once inflation remains stubbornly high, we're going to see those COLA increases continue to go up. Now, I will say that in times of recession, this has happened previously. It means that actually in the following year, so think 2024, you might not actually receive a big jump in some of those benefits. So that's how it's going to impact in the longer term.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, we're going to be seeing, like I said, what happens with legislation for Social Security increases. We have several proposals on the table. Social Security Act 2100, Social Security Expansion Act. We also have child tax credit proposals hitting the table, and also a lot of people calling for free childcare, free college tuition. But can they do it in a way where there is not more additional debt and spending added to our economy that could increase and stoke even more inflation? We will see. I will keep you up to date here on the channel, you guys. But that is the latest. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. Whatever unfolds, I'll keep you up to date. If you made it this far and you haven't already and you appreciate the updates, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. Any specific questions, shoot them to me at Instagram at SteveRam3. Check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, and to get access to the comprehensive stimulus checklist for every single check in the nation on every level, states, cities, counties, be sure to check out www.reliefroadmap.com. But with that being said, you guys, thank you once again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.